Today, SAI News is not one story. It is the full AI stack coming into focus. Agents people can build, business value people can measure, infrastructure that keeps models improving, public trust data, and a global fight over who writes the rules. Google published 13 practical demos for Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform. OpenAI proposed a scorecard for measuring AI value. NVIDIA argued that agentic AI changes the economics of post-training. The UK Statistics Office released new public attitudes data on AI. And in Shanghai, China used the World AI Conference to push a global AI governance vision. First, Google Cloud published 13 hands-on demos for Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform. These are not consumer Gemini tricks. They are developer and enterprise patterns for building agents that can connect to tools, handle approvals, evaluate behavior, deploy to production, and be monitored after launch. Google says the demos include examples like a first agent with ADK, an event-driven expense approval agent, model context protocol tools, evaluation workflows, deployment patterns, and governance. The company also says developers can install agent CLI into coding tools such as Antigravity, Claude Code, and Codex so their coding agent can scaffold and operate Gemini agent projects from the editor. What is confirmed is the Google Cloud blog post from July 17th. This is available as demos and documentation, not a single new model release. Why it matters? This matters because enterprise AI is moving from chatbot pilots to repeatable agent architecture. The hard part is not asking a model a question. The hard part is connecting it to data, tools, approvals, security rules, deployment systems, and monitoring. Google is trying to make agent development feel more like a software lifecycle. Next, OpenAI published a business framework called A Scorecard for the AI Age. The central idea is that companies should stop measuring AI only by seats, active users, or token prices. OpenAI argues that the better question is useful work per dollar. Is AI completing work that matters? What does a successful task actually cost? How often does the result meet the quality bar? And does every AI dollar produce more value as usage grows? The post is written for business leaders and CFOs. It also includes OpenAI's own claims about GPT 5.6 tiers and coding benchmark performance. Those model numbers should be treated as company claims unless independently verified. Why it matters? This matters because the AI market is under pressure to prove return on investment. A cheap model is not actually cheap if it takes 5 attempts, human cleanup, or creates mistakes. A more capable model may be better value if it completes the task correctly in one pass. For business users, the metric is shifting from how much AI did we buy to what useful work did AI finish. The third story is NVIDIA's July 17th post about Vera Rubin and post-training workloads. NVIDIA argues that agentic AI makes post-training continuous. In older AI workflows, a model might be trained, tuned, and then served. But agents work in changing environments. Tools change, code bases change, policies change, and new failure cases appear in production. That means models need repeated reinforcement learning and post-training loops. NVIDIA says the Vera Rubin platform is designed to maximize intelligence per dollar for these workloads. The company also highlights Nematron 3 Ultra and claims a 71.7% SWE bench verified score. Again, those are NVIDIA's published claims. Why it matters? This matters because AI infrastructure is becoming more specialized. The question is not only how cheaply you can serve tokens. It is how cheaply you can keep improving models after they hit the real world. If agents become central to work, then the companies that run post-training efficiently may have a real advantage. The fourth story is quieter, but important. The UK Office for National Statistics released a new dataset on public opinions and social trends in Great Britain related to artificial intelligence. The release date is July 17th, and the dataset covers understanding of and attitudes toward AI, using indicators from the Opinions and Lifestyle Survey. This is not a product launch. It is official measurement of public attitudes. Why it matters? This matters because AI adoption depends on public trust. Governments and companies need to understand whether people know when AI is being used, whether they see benefits, and where they worry about risk. Data like this can feed policy debates on education, transparency, workplace AI, public services, and regulation. The biggest story is geopolitical. At the 2026 World AI Conference in Shanghai, Chinese President Xi Jinping delivered a keynote on global AI governance. The official text calls for a just and equitable system for global AI governance. It emphasizes openness, risk awareness, cultural inclusion, and solidarity. China also promoted the World Artificial Intelligence Cooperation Organization, or WACO, and announced plans for 5,000 AI training opportunities for developing countries over 5 years, cooperation centers with regional blocs, and AI-powered meteorological systems for 30 countries. The Associated Press separately framed the speech as China calling for more global AI cooperation while criticizing U.S. restrictions on technology sharing. Why it matters? This matters because AI governance is becoming a geopolitical contest. The U.S., Europe, China, and major AI labs are all trying to shape safety rules, export rules, standards, and infrastructure access. China is positioning itself as an alternative center for AI cooperation, especially with the Global South. For viewers, the practical takeaway is that AI rules will not be written by engineers alone. They will be written by governments, standards bodies, trade policy, and international alliances. The pattern today is clear. AI is no longer just model capability. Google is turning agents into deployable systems. OpenAI is trying to define how AI value gets measured. NVIDIA is pushing infrastructure for continuous model improvement. The UK is measuring public trust. China is pushing a global governance vision. That is what a maturing technology looks like. Tools, economics, infrastructure, public legitimacy, and politics all moving at once. Which story do you think will have the biggest impact? Enterprise agents, AI return on investment, post-training infrastructure, public trust, or global AI governance? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for your daily AI update.